Welcome to Fire Bunny Games and Crafts. Today we're going to be making an orange blossom soap. This is inspired by Orange Bird from Disney. Orange Bird's one of our favorite characters at the park. You can only see him at what's called the Sunshine Terrace, where they sell the Dole Whip treats and the frozen orange juice treats. This soap will have an orange embedded into the center, along with a leaf on top, and the rest of the soap around it should be white if everything works out okay. The embeds for the orange and the leaf are made out of melt and pour soap, and those were made last night. I used a toilet paper tube to make the round orange shape. I used a paper towel tube that was pinched on one end to make the leaf, and the stem was made by pouring a block of green then orange melt and pour soap, and then I cut them out in thin strips and used melt and pour soap to attach them to the core. So what we're going to do is have a white base soap. We'll put the orange and the leaf in the center, and then we'll top it with more white soap, and hopefully that will create a nice effect of an orange. The scent today will be Orange Blossom from Nature's Garden. I hope you enjoy our soap today. I'm going to say right ahead that if you are interested in soap making, go ahead and check out Soaping 101 or Soap Queen TV. They have very good safety videos on how to handle lye, which is a caustic substance and it can burn your skin. We mix the lye into a pitcher of water. Recipes are different, so make sure you run everything through a soap calculator before you do it. My recipe is coconut oil, olive oil, and lard. Makes a nice bar of soap that makes nice foamy bubbles in the hard Florida water, which is very rare. We very rarely get things that foam up in our water here. It's hard, calcium-rich water. All right, I'm going to put on the stick blender so it'll be a little noisy. Mixing to what's called emulsification. That means all of the oils and lye have been mixed together and there's no oil floating on top or lye on the bottom. Today I need a slightly thicker soap. Usually at this point I add my colors, I add my fragrance, and then I pour it into the molds and it's nice and liquidy still. But today I'm going to need it slightly thicker than that to hold up the oranges that I've made. So we're going to blend this for a while until it thickens up nicely. I've just added the orange blossom scent and it smells lovely. The orange cores are also scented with this fragrance. And this soap will be available in February 2019. Fire Bunny Games is a mobile game store in the Central Florida area. We actually travel with our games. We bring them to organizations and communities, and we will set up the games and teach people how to play them. All of our games are available on www.firebunnygames.com, and you'll also find our soaps there now. This is finally getting to the state we want it in. So I'm going to bring this back a little bit. I'm going to put the mold into view so you can see what we're doing. I don't like to waste any soap, so we scrape it down off the stick blender. Make sure we get as many drops as we can. So I'm going to pour a layer of the base into the mold. Bring it up a little bit. Right. And then we're going to take the oranges and roughly set them into the middle of the soap. They're going to sink down a little bit, and that's okay. And I'm kind of, once I get them in there, I'm going to line them up a little bit with my spatula, trying to line up the stems as much as I can. And I'm going to gently fill it up, the top of the stems, with a little bit more soap batter. Hoping everything stays in place nice and neat. There we go. I want this to be a little bit thicker before I put the leaves in. So I'm going to just sit for a few seconds. Make sure everything's even. Looks like the oranges are staying put. So going back to Orange Bird, he was brought to the Disney parks, I believe, in the 70s or 80s, and he was a collaboration with the Florida orange juice growers and the orange growers down here. And the whole point of him was to sell Florida orange juice to the tourists. So they had a person walking around in costume dressed up as him. They had merchandise you can buy. And with the nostalgia of the 2000s, they have brought him back. You can see a little statue of him at the Sunshine Terrace at Disney World in Florida. And now they're coming out with Disney pins. They have glasses and kitchenwares and all sorts of stuffed animals. So it's wonderful seeing that he's been brought back. And he was one of my husband's favorite characters growing up. So we're making the soap in honor of Orange Bird from Disney World. And hopefully you will also enjoy this soap. It is limited edition. I believe I'm only making one batch of this. We'll see how hard it is. If it does well, I might make more than one batch. I don't think that's going to support the soap yet, so we're going to wait a little bit longer. What I always do is I always have extra molds on hand because I knew this batch would make more soap than I needed. So I'm going to pour the extra into these dragon molds and save a little bit left for the top. So we'll have some orange blossom dragons when this is all done. So we'll use up what's left of the soap. And then we also have these cool little robot molds that I like to use. And these are our sample sizes. I will pour at least one batch of robots for every batch of soap I make. And we send these out whenever someone buys our soaps. And it's a way for you to test out new fragrances that you haven't tried yet. We're also going to be coming out with a soap called March of the Robots, which will take the poor robots that didn't quite make the cut to become samples. They may have lost a foot, may have lost a hand, and we're going to weld them all together into one big long train, and they're going to go into the middle of a soap. And we'd really need some recommendations for what scent you'd like the robot soap to be. I haven't quite figured out what I want to make for that one yet. Okay, we're just waiting for the soaps to set up a little bit more so that it will support the leaves. Alright, it's been a few minutes. We've let the soap set up a little bit. So now we're going to try to put in the leaf part of the soap. Again, these are melt and pour soaps that were made last night. Hopefully I have a long enough piece for each one. This one I'm going to have to cut a little bit. I made these basically in the shape of an airplane wing. It was actually a complete circle, and I pinched the end of the paper towel tube to make the pointed end, and then I just sliced that in half to give me a more leaf shape. So we'll see how this turns out. This is kind of a experiment in soap making. Hopefully the leaves will be the way I pictured them. Hopefully they'll look nice next to the oranges. So now I'm going to just cover everything up with a layer of soap batter all the way to the tippy top. I don't normally do frosted soaps or piped soaps. I haven't tried that yet. I actually just started soap making in November. Right now it's January, so I've been doing this for about 3 months now. And I haven't tried it yet. It looks interesting. I know a lot of people do that style. I have some ideas for one or two I might want to try. But I'm kind of liking the flat top soap effect, where it's just flat and then you do a really fancy mica design in it, which is what we're going to do today. I'm going to do a cool green and orange mica swirl. And I'm going to let the soap set up a little bit more before I do that. Alright, now we're ready for our mica swirl. I have emerald green and some olive oil, and electric orange and some olive oil. And both of these are from Nurture Soap. I have these little eyedropper thingies that I like to use to make the mica swirls. This is one of my favorite parts of the soap making process, is all the sparkly bits you put on top. I haven't gotten into using the bio glitters yet. Right now I'm just using micas. As I get more practice, I'll probably try new things. I just drizzle across the top. And we're going to do some orange and green. Of course, it'll be mixed with the base color of the soap. Sometimes these micas surprise you, and as they're curing, they turn a completely different color. For example, I have a yellow that turns this color orange, of this electric orange, when it's curing. And then when the soap's, after 24 hours, the soap has cooled down, and it goes back to being yellow. But if you aren't expecting it, it's kind of a shock, going, oh my goodness, did I just mess up my soap? And no, you haven't. It's just a little chemical reaction that happens during the soap curing process, and it's kind of fun to watch things change. Last night we were making the mermaid soap, and they went into what's called gel. The middle of the soap gets really, really hot. There's chemical changes occurring as the lye turns the oil into soap, and it was just really cool because the middle turned this really dark teal. And I called all my family in and saying, like, look, 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 it's gelling, it's gelling. And they thought I was completely crazy, but I thought it was a cool chemical reaction to see. So now I'm just dragging the pipette through the colors. I'm just kind of swirling them together. Sometimes I over swirl and have to add more. That's just part of the artistically fun part. And as you can see, I have extra left over. Oops, I forgot a bit over here. And what will happen is the soap will absorb this olive oil. It'll make these really cool textured tops to the soap. Kind of like this. Kind of looks like a Florida swamp, like where you'd find the alligators hanging out. And a very cool effect. Well, I hope you have enjoyed our video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and of course hit that little bell if you'd like, so that you know when we are posting our next video. We'll be going back and forth between soap making and game videos. We of course are a mobile game store, so we'll be showing you how we play the different games in our collection. We hope you have enjoyed our video today, and hopefully you'll give us some suggestions for our next flavor, or even a flavor for our robot soap. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.